Okay, so today we're going to be making chicken parmesan, stuffed chicken parmesan. We're going to be stuffing it with pepperonis and mozzarella cheese. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to grab your chicken breast. It calls for this recipe will yield 4 servings. I have 2 chicken breasts here that I'm just going to show you. So I've already kind of butterflied this one. It's already cut apart. I'll show you how to butterfly the other one so you know. Grab your utility knife. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with the almost like jaggedy edge is where you're going to start cutting from, because you want to cut towards the straight side. So make sure it's lined up that way, and that's where you'll start cutting. Before you start cutting, make sure to read your recipe. It is a butterfly, so it's almost going to look like those little hearts that you've made in middle school. So when you open it up, you're not cutting it completely through. You're just getting it enough to where you can like stuff it like a pocket, okay? So I'm going to hold on to it, and it might get a little bit messy, but, and again, use your like utility knife for this. You don't have to use your chef's knife. Okay, so I've kind of like cut it through. Now you can like open it and start cutting that way, so you can kind of see what you're doing, where you're cutting. Okay, so I'm probably going to stop about there. Okay, it's cut pretty good. I'm going to take my meat mallet and I'm just going to kind of pound it down a little bit so it's a little even. It's kind of fun. So you're just kind of evening out the sides on this. So you see how this one's a little bit thicker right here? Just kind of even it out. Okay, so after you have got that, you can take your salt and pepper and just kind of pour it on there. And do the other side too. Okay, and while someone is doing this, you can have 2 people doing this if you want. I don't know, sorry, that was the dishwasher. You can have 2 people doing this if you want. I'm going to pepper it now to get that in the hood. Okay, so just kind of rub that in. I don't know. Okay. After that, I have, well, first off, after I've butterflied them, you guys can go ahead and start your water if you want in your group. Somebody can be starting your water for your pasta. You're going to have about 4 ounces of angel hair pasta. Somebody can be doing this, and then you're also going to have your cast iron skillet, which is what you're going to be able to kind of sear your chicken on, and then it'll also be able to go straight into your oven from there. So we have both of the chicken breasts that are butterflied. It calls for 8 pepperonis, so you're going to put about 4 pepperonis in each. So I'm just going to lay them on top. And you guys don't have to, well, in this case, we are going to be filling them with pepperonis and mozzarella cheese. But if you've ever made this at home, or if you ever want to make it at home, or if you have, you can fill it with whatever you like. So like, I like jalapenos and cream cheese. That would be something good to fill it in. You could still bread it the same way if you wanted, or differently. It's up to you. Okay, so it says to, oh shoot, I forgot the steps of the marinara. Go ahead and put marinara on there. It calls for 2 tablespoons. But again, like if you don't like marinara that much, you can do a little bit less. Or if you have a smaller chicken breast, maybe a little bit less. I like marinara, so we're going to put that in there. I just kind of put it on top of my pepperoni, so you can put it on there before if you want. Okay. And then I've got my pepperonis under there. I'm going to sprinkle it with some cheese. Mozzarella cheese. Okay, and then you're going to kind of, in the recipe it kind of says to roll them a little bit. They might try to fall apart a little bit. It's pretty good. I like set it like that. So you're going to put your seam side down when you put it in the cast iron skillet, so that gets sealed up first. Okay. Okay, this one is kind of coming out a little bit, but it'll be okay. Alright, so we've got those. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and this can already be done. I have some olive oil in here. Your recipe will tell you how much olive oil. I have a little bit in there. I'm going to start my fire so it starts to heat up. And while that's heating up a little bit, it says to fold the chicken back up, rolling it a bit if necessary to keep it together. So then you're going to take it to your dredging station. So this one I have set up here. Just kind of hold on to it as you go. And first we're going to go in the flour a little bit. I'm going to kind of roll it in there. I'm going to just like sprinkle it on top of there. Get off any excess flour. I'm going to do that with it. Then you're going to take it to your eggs. Same thing. Again, just try to keep it together because they are stuffed. And then you're going to take it with your breadcrumbs and your Parmesan cheese, which is right here.
Just can't see.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And then you'll also just kind of tap off any excess. Your hands are going to get really messy. I'm going to put a little bit more right there. So I'm just trying to keep it together while you're doing it. Okay, so that's heating up. We're going to stick this little guy into our cast iron skillet. And it's going to sear on side for about 4 minutes each. That needs to heat up a little bit more. Let's set this guy down. We'll go ahead and do this one. So this one is coming apart a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to put them in our flour. Go for our eggs. And our breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. Okay, just get off any excess. Okay, so the oil is kind of starting to sizzle a little bit. I'm gonna put it seam side down. So that seals it up. Same with this one. Seam side down. Okay. Let me wash off my hands. Okay, so when you're watching those, or when you have those in, they're about 4 minutes on each side. And you can go ahead and use the tongs. Kind of make sure you're doing good. Okay. After you've done that, you're going to heat the cast iron skillet. You've done that. You're going to have the chicken in there 4 minutes on each side or until they're golden brown. After that is finished, someone at the same time can be doing the pasta, and we went ahead and took the pasta away just because it was, you guys couldn't see the skillet here. So someone could be doing the pasta just like you cook your chicken scampi pasta. Just, you know, cook the noodles, get your water going, and then have your colander ready in the crumb snakes, and then drain it. And then this is what you're going to serve it over. So these are getting to be golden brown, and they're like sealing up over there. So that's good. Make sure your ovens are on at 400 because this is also going to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes after you sear it on both sides. Okay. And while this is going, this is the part where you guys can start cleaning up if you want. So like I could be cleaning up my cutting board and getting my knives, you know, working ahead kind of. So you're not rushing at the very end and you can sit down and enjoy your chicken parmesan. Okay. So after these are finished, we're going to let them get a little bit more golden brown on one side, then we're going to flip them to the next. Okay, so it has seared on one side, we're kind of finishing up the other side. This is kind of what it'll look like. And there is some excess oil in here, so what I'm going to do is just kind of make sure you put on your hot oven hood, and then just kind of spoon out a little bit of that excess oil. I just have a meat cup and a spoon. Be really careful because it's really hot. And I'm just getting some of that oil out. You don't need it all in there. Okay? Just be really careful when you're doing this. Okay, we've got out quite a bit. I'm going to try for like one more spoonful in there. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so it's pretty good on each side. I'm going to turn my fire off. I already have my oven on and it's set to 400. What it says is take a spoon, a bit of marinara on top of each chicken breast. So what you're going to do, if you like marinara, you can do a little bit more. I'm going to do about 2 spoonfuls of marinara. A lot. Okay. And then it says sprinkle the remaining mozzarella cheese over the stuffed chicken breast and then bake uncovered until 400. The marinara hit the oil, that's why it's doing that. Set it over for a second. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle this on there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this marinara around the chicken breast in the pan. That's why we took some of the excess oil out too. It kind of spits up a little bit. Just be careful. So it's going to kind of soak in the marinara. Okay. And then you can just put the remaining amount of cheese on there. Okay. There we go. It's a lot of cheese, but I mean, I like a lot of cheese, so go for it. And after you're finished with that, my oven is set to 400. Just make sure you put on your oven mitts, and you're going to take your cast iron skillet. I'm going to open my oven, and I'm going to stick it in there. And you're going to stick it in there for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the temperature is done. The chicken gets cooked to 165, so just remember that. And then you'll take it out, and you'll garnish with your chopped basil. Okay, so I have pulled my chicken Parmesan out of the oven, and let me move this again so you guys can kind of see it. So I pulled it out of the oven, and I already did my noodles. Those are just like you cook the chicken scampi noodles. This is angel hair pasta though. You have 4 ounces, so this is enough for 4 people. You have 2 chicken breasts here. You're just going to cut these in half to serve them with your group if you have 4 people. Go ahead and remember it just came out of the oven, the whole cast iron skillet, so it's very hot. I'm going to take it, and you're just going to put 1 chicken breast on top, and the other one. They're heavy, and then they're huge. So, they look really good though. And then I like to scoop out the rest of that and put it on there, so you guys can do that too. The bowl's already pretty full, so I'm not going to do that right now, but it'll taste really good if you do that. Then I'm going to take my knife, and I'm just going to cut in, I don't know where my fork went, I'm just going to use this other piece, this other knife. Cut in at an angle, see if it's good. It's not very pretty cutting skills, but if you can kind of see it, it's done. And you guys can cut into it too, to make sure it's done before you take it out of the oven. But this one looks really good. I don't know if you can see it, but it is finished. And then you can top it with your basil here. Just gonna garnish it. Put it together. And there you go. You have your stuffed chicken Parmesan.